You wake up energized, ready to finally tackle your goals. But by the end of the day, you're just staring at a screen. Looking at a blurred, endless feed like this, it's easy to see how days quickly slip into years with nothing to show for it. When we get stuck in this loop, our default reaction is to try harder or wait for a new burst of inspiration. But relying on that feeling is a psychological trap. This graph shows exactly why. Motivation is just a biological spike, a temporary surge of dopamine designed to fade. Within a few hours, it crashes right back to baseline, leaving you exhausted and right back where you started. Top performers avoid this cycle by ignoring motivation entirely. Instead, they operate on a permanent psychological framework, obsession. Systematically engineering a state of obsession bypasses the need for those exhausting temporary bursts of energy, creating a consistent path towards completing your goals. Engineering that obsession starts with clarity. If you tell your brain, I want to be rich, or I want to be successful, it automatically rejects the command. The brain has no data to work with, so it does nothing. Notice how the hazy cloud is replaced by a rigid structure with measurement markers. A functional goal must be hyper-specific. But notice the glowing core appearing at the center. It connects to a massive emotional driver, like providing financial security. When you fuse a specific target with a massive emotional reason, the goal shifts from an optional desire to a core priority that your brain treats as a non-negotiable requirement. Once that obsession is ignited, your priority shifts to protecting it from your environment. You cannot reach deep focus if you're constantly splitting your attention. A quick glance at a notification or text message shatters momentum and prevents significant progress. True obsession acts as a natural filter. When you are fully locked into your target, trivial drama and social media automatically lose their appeal because they don't serve the goal. Of course, even the strongest obsession will have days where the emotional high naturally dips. That is where you rely on the mechanical backup system, discipline. Take a look at this animation. Discipline is the steady stacking of small, identical blocks, day after day. Notice how the environment aggressively shifts, representing changes in mood or weather, but the stacking never stops. Obsession gets you off the starting line, but discipline provides the structural scaffolding that maintains your progress when your energy levels drop. The final barrier between you and your target is the psychological paralysis caused by the fear of failure. It's common to stay in the planning phase as a way to feel safe, but overthinking in a bubble only magnifies the fear of actually failing. Neutralize fear through decisive, imperfect action. Hitting publish on a first video or pitch email forces you into the real world. This chart shows the compounding power of that action. You don't need immediate perfection. By aiming for just a 1% daily improvement, the curve starts shallow, but eventually compounds into a massive upward trajectory. By taking these daily steps, you build a compounding momentum that makes reaching the destination a foreseeable outcome, rather than a gamble. This creates two distinct paths. The average mindset seeks out comfort, makes excuses, and avoids risk. The extraordinary mindset looks for solutions, embraces risk, and treats every failure as necessary data to adjust the plan. However, gathering knowledge is useless without application. You can read every book and watch every explainer video, but without physical execution, that information is just gathering dust. You can stop waiting for the right wave of motivation today and deliberately choose to build your own architecture of obsession. The shift toward an extraordinary life begins with the specific, imperfect action you take the second this video ends.